everyone. Right, I've had a bit of a theory, and it's only a theory. Now, it's going to be a controversial one, obviously, but it's to do with Amber supporters. They seem to be getting really pissed off, basically. Now, nameless Nabnalos, sorry, nameless Nabnalos. It's you that's actually triggered this sort of like to go off in my head, because you say it's pissing you off that people are supporting Amber and they really can't see the lies through her. Now, like I say, this is only a theory, so don't take it to heart. Don't be sending me lots of messages saying that I'm this, that, and the other. It's just a theory. It's just an idea that's gone on in my head, and it's not something that's true, and it's not something that I think it's true. It's just a theory. Because obviously I'm going into analysing people, their behaviour and things like that. And I've seen it. I think I've had 3 messages so far. There's since I've had the PC, I've noticed that I've had a message that YouTube has blocked. I've not actually published it, and I've not gone right into it, but obviously YouTube has blocked it for being inappropriate, so obviously it was inappropriate. I mean, I've had another couple of people that have put negative comments about my thoughts about Amber, and also, just an example, Libby, being vicious towards Amber. Now, I think I did sort of like touch on this in that video that I did to Libby, about a certain type of person getting offended by Amber Amber losing the trial, and not being able to sort of like see all the lies behind that. Now, it's only a theory again, I shall state this again, it's only a theory that's popped into my head, so it's not something that I think is true, it's just something that's out there, that I want to put out there. Now, maybe it is a certain type of person that is getting threatened, or feeling threatened, getting triggered by Amber losing and having all her tactics exposed, all these narcissistic traits being exposed. Maybe it's more that they're afraid that they're going to get exposed, and this is why they're the supporters of Amber. Maybe it is a certain kind of person. It takes a certain kind of person to, well, obviously there's going to be a wide spectrum of people, of believers, because there'll be those that believe her that actually don't know anything about domestic violence, domestic abuse, and they believe her on that side because they just haven't experienced it, so they don't know what to look out for, which is quite a majority of people, I expect. People that are even being abused, survivors, people going through it at the moment, they might not even be able to see that she's lying, but then, like I say, I think there's going to be a percentage that are on the narcissistic scale, that will be feeling threatened, because now it's worldwide knowledge what narcissistic does, what narcissistic personality does, narcissistic traits, a lot of them are getting exposed. People like me are speaking up about it, and people that subscribe to my channel, we're all talking about it, we're all going through the same experiences, we're exposing these toxic people, and to have somebody like Johnny come into the limelight and just expose a lot of them, they are going to feel threatened, and they are going to want to support Amber, so it's two sides of the coin, really. Well, this is my theory anyway. This is what my brain thinks about. But yeah, there's a lot more to Amber than meets the eye, unfortunately. And when you do, you have to analyse people on the micro level, because that's where they show their tails. It's like poker. Everybody's got a tell. When you've got a shit hand and when you've got a good hand, It's only the very experienced that hide them, but they still have those tiny, tiny micro expressions and things that they say, the way that they say things. You know, a look, you know, it's on that microscopic level because they have to hide it that well. So you do have to analyse, you do have to take notice, you do have to pay attention to everything that everybody says, you know, how they act, you know, do their words speak that match their actions, you know. That's how to find out if somebody's lying or not, you know. It's easy once you know how. But it's the same as, you know, you get, you know, if you speak up about abuse, you get called a grass or a snitch, you know. I know people, you know, people have died from doing things like that, you know, talking about that, but there's also that threat behind it of, oh, if you tell anybody, you know, you're going to get this happen to you and that happen to you, and it's used and used and used in domestic violence settings. As a threat, you know. People get afraid to be called a grass, and it's toxic people that's made that up. It's a bad derogative name to have for speaking up against something that's bad, something that's wrong, something that's happening to you, you know, something disgusting. And yeah, I don't care being called grass, you know. I will speak up against domestic violence and people that have hurt me and harming other people, you know. I will speak up against that because it's wrong, and I don't care if I get called a grass or anything like that. I don't want to protect a narcissist. Why should I? They're not protecting me, you know. And a lot of people don't get that. I don't think they do. You know, why should I protect somebody that's hurting me? Why? What's the sense behind it? You know, if I want the pain to stop, you know, I've got to take measures to make it stop. Nobody else is going to do that for me. I mean, people can call the police and things like that, you know, in that sort of situation, but at the end of the day, you're still the one that says, well, this happened to me, or this didn't happen to me. You know, you have that control as a victim or a survivor, to come forward and tell the truth, to tell exactly what somebody's done to you, or you've got that control over, or the fear, should I say, is what it is. It's fear of not actually saying anything, so you don't come forward. You were too fearful to speak up against the violence or the mental abuse, the physical abuse, the financial abuse, whatever abuse it is, you know, because you think you're the one that's causing it. You think you're the problem because the narcissist makes it out that you are the problem, and you're a grass if you say anything about it. You're a snitch, you know. You're the lowest of low, you know, just because you want some respect, some love, you know, just general decency, really, you know. We don't ask for much. I have some food and electric and gas, some hot water, and I'm happy, like, you know. Let me go outside now and again and I'm fine, you know. But, you know, they don't even give you that, you know. They take away the basics, the bare basics, you know, having to survive, and being locked in a mental prison as well as a physical prison, you know. Some people get locked away for years, you know, nobody knows. It's horrible, but this is as far as they go. And as with Amber, she will go far, and she'll keep going because this is her act, this is who she is. She can't act being a good person because she's not deep down, and the more that she's in the limelight, the more we'll see it, you know. She can't hide it for long. People that have been in toxic relationships will actually relate to this, that when you do find them out, you know, I think I've mentioned this in the video before as well, when you do find them out and you call them out on their behaviour, you know, they'll back down, they'll be nice, they'll be kind, you know. They only last for a little while. I think the quickest somebody's gone to revert back to how they was about a week. But, you know, it can be a week, it can be a day, it could, you know, it could be months, it could be a year, but it gradually comes back in again. that behaviour, and they try and take over again. And this is what Amber will do. She'll try and just carry it on and get back into Johnny's life whatever way she can, because she wants him. She wants to be him. She wants what he's got, everything that he's got. This is the whole point of her narcissism. She wants to be the number one, and she'll do whatever she can to get it. You know, I can imagine her growing up being that toddler, you know, that's kicking off and gets everything that it wants. You know, screaming at the top of its voice until its mum gives in and gives it some sweets or whatever, and then going through school, it's a school bully, you know, and then at high school, it's one of these that destroys other people's lives, you know, and then into young adulthood, you know, just how she was, how she is, it doesn't stop. It starts at an early age, and it carries on, and the longer it carries on, the worse it gets. You can't control it. It's like me and my mate Heather have been talking about my mum, and when I first met my mum, she wasn't as bad as she is now, and Heather's the same. She agrees. She says your mum was never this bad, and she's got so bad now. It's like she's like a 5-year-old, you know, and it's something that doesn't get better when it's untreated. I mean, to a certain extent, I'm sure there's like behavioural patterns that you can relearn. I have, you know. Why can't a narcissist? The brain is able to learn things, you know. But yeah, I definitely think other than the people that don't know about abuse, domestic violence, and don't recognise it, I think the other type of person that are offended and support Amber are the ones that it's going to harm, you know. It's going to bring harm to. It's going to bring harm to the narcissist, and that, you know, they're being exposed. So yes, but this is all my own thoughts and theories. So whether you agree or disagree, you know, be kind on the comments. You know, I'm not being vicious. I'm not targeting anybody. I'm just trying to be real and realistic, because this is what our world is about. And to understand our world is to understand us, and to understand us is to understand our world. You know, it works both ways. We have to find out about ourselves, our brains, how we work, if we want to move forward. And obviously the toxic people don't want us to move forward, because they're quite happy where they are, because they're getting what they want, how they want it. So they don't want us to evolve. But, you know, people like me, you know, us empaths, we do want to move forward, very much so. You know, life is about evolving, even from the small molecule to the biggest galaxies, or you know, it's about evolving, it's about moving forward, about growing, you know, and we're not, we're moving backwards. Or we've been stuck for a very long time in this toxic cycle. A bit like a toxic marriage, toxic partnership, toxic friendship, toxic family. We're in a toxic world, run by toxic people. We need a different kind of person running this country, yeah, this country and this world, in all countries. I mean, we're branching out into space now, you know. It's not to repopulate the Earth, I don't, you know, to save us because of what we're doing to this Earth. I think it's more about what resources we can get from the planets, you know, and what we're doing, what we're doing. I mean, we're already taking the resources from this planet. What we're going to do, what we're going to destroy in this solar system if we start on other planets. There's a reason for evolution of the solar system as well, you know. Is it wise for us to go and start doing shit like that? What are we going to do to our evolution of our sun? You know, it's going through its natural process. Are we destroying that by doing what we're doing to this planet and then going off and doing it to others? You know, it doesn't make sense to me. Yeah, but that's another story, another theory. I've got plenty of those, but I should leave that there. But thank you everybody for watching, subscribing, liking and sharing. Like I say, if you know anybody that would benefit from my channel, please share discreetly. don't share it direct to somebody because it might cause more problems than what they deserve. Just share it to your timelines or to your news feeds or whatever, you know, and get the word out, you know. There are people out there that need help, whether they can recognise it or not, you know. And the more people that do recognise it, the more help people will get, and the better this planet will get. So I shall leave it there. I've waffled on and on. So thank you very much, everybody, and I'll see you again. Bye bye.